Well, hello and welcome people of the internet to Last Spartan Glory Over Madness. This is a new roguelike dice builder that just dropped its demo a short while ago on the Steam page. It's been on my wish list for a little while, so I'm excited to check this one out. If you want to check out the demo for yourself, link will of course be down below in the description. It does look like there is a release date planned for July 2025. Not sure if that is early release or full access. I wish Steam would kind of, I wish you could put on Steam if you knew which it was going to be, so it would say like planned release date early access or planned release date for full release. But I guess they're both technically basically the same thing nowadays. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump into a new game and see what the game has to offer. We're going to skip the opening cutscene here, and let's see, select your ally god. So you get custom dices, powers, starting stats, and more. Not available in demo, not available in the demo, not available in the demo, not available in the demo. Zeus. Okay, well, we're going with Zeus. Oh, everyone's super corrupted. Oh, God. Man, poor Hera. Wait, Ares is fat? Ares is the god of war. Look at him. Okay, Hephaestus. Dude, this art is looking sweet. Okay, well, let's go with Zeus. Zeus. Where did my music go? Is there no background music here? Let's see. Buff. Start every battle with 10 armor. Deal double damage to enemies at full health. Every 10th attack heals you completely. -1 mana in battles. Okay, Zeus, the almighty ruler of Olympus, now sits on his all-so-precious throne, breathing his last breaths, calling out to you for help. Corruption and rot runs deep in his veins. Ugh. Okay, so we have all our different dice here. And so if you're unfamiliar with dice builders, it works the same way as deck builders, except for the fact that we're going to be altering the different sides of our dice. Now, rather than going through every single face here, we're just going to start and we're going to kind of figure this out as we play, and we'll kind of learn what all the different sides of the dice do. Use controls described in the bottom left to see far ahead of the map. Hover and click over your next target. Lastly, you can always customize your dice set by clicking customize dice on the bottom left. Wait, you can do this just at any time? Wow. Okay, that's a lot of customization right at the start. Click on any dice face to mark it for swapping, then swap it with the next click dice face. Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, so I'm actually just going to stick with the dice as they are because I don't want to get too far into customization before, before learning what the game actually is. Now, I will say first impressions of the map, obviously very Slay the Spire inspired. I do wish that rather than just moving up and down, I could change the angle so that way I could see it a little bit better so we can kind of view it from a more, from above. It's a very small, okay, we're just taking, literally taking the only regular enemy battle. Okay. Click on dices at the bottom to use them. Hover over anything to learn more about it. Use reroll to get new dices. Lastly, rerolls replenish every turn. Okay. And armor stays every turn. Okay, does not expire. Do make sure you read about turns and sanity by hovering over the top center. If the battle is still going after 5 turns, player loses 1 sanity point every turn thereafter. What is a sanity point? Health. Sanity. This is a representation of your mental strength. If your sanity reaches 0, you die instantly. Oh! Okay, so each battle basically has an enraged timer. Enemy is going to attack for 6 damage this turn. This damage number is without calculating player and enemy's other afflictions buffs. Okay, so we have 6 dice, it looks like. And I can, let's see, each time you use a dice, it uses 1 mana. Mana replenishes every turn. We have 2 rerolls, end turn. Okay, well. Attacking me for 1 damage. We have apply 1 stack of weak. All damage output is reduced by 1 per stack. We have 1 armor. Damage is dealt to armor of before health. We have more armor. Unwrap. Oh, so that shows what the other sides of the dice are. Okay. So let's see here. You're doing 6 damage. And we have 4 damage. And we have 10 health, but we have 10 armor. So let's apply some weak. And that's all I can do. Okay, we'll end turn. What do we have here? Character takes 2 damage per stack every turn. Okay, so can we apply more bleed, or is that all? We do have more bleed. For each stack of strength, every turn strength is reduced by 1. Heal self. Okay, we don't need that. So let's go for strength here. So we're taking 5 damage. So let's go ahead and armor up. So that way... Oh, I guess I didn't need that because I still have that damage. Okay, let's put bleed on you. And then let's just go for damage. Do we have more bleed? Yes, we do. Or do I just want to go for full strength attacks? We're going to end up taking 4 damage, though, if we do that. Wow. Okay, the first fight is actually, like, significant. He just does way more damage than we do. Okay, so let's go ahead and strength up. So now we do 4 damage. We're just going to go and try and kill you next turn. Now, do we get our health back? That's what I want to know. Can I actually not kill you? I actually can't kill you. Unless I do this first. Do this and then reroll. There we go. Swap an old die face or... Okay. Select the new die face you want and click on the die face you want to swap it with. Lastly, you can always choose not to and just press the done button to skip. And also, you can always swap die faces among each other anytime visiting the screen from the overworld. Okay. Let's see. Removes 12 armor from the enemy. Only affects enemy armor. We have regain a sanity point, and we have lose 3 sanity points and attack an enemy for damage equal to your missing sanity. I mean, these are completely different from anything we're doing here. What is this? Takes extra damage from wounds. We only have 3 wounds, though. How many bleeds do we have? We have 3 bleeds, too. I kind of want to have one way to remove armor. Let's remove just a regular attack.
You seek glory. You know nothing of the cost.
Yeah, so for example, it's kind of tough to see here. Obviously, it's highlighted. But I think it would be way easier to see some of these connections if I could go kind of from a higher level. Yeah, and it looks like we don't re-heal. That's crazy that we start at that low health. Maybe that was just a tough starting enemy. No, they're hitting for a bunch of damage. Okay, let's go for as much damage as possible. We'll heal up, and then we'll stack a little bit more armor on us. I think this turn I'm just going to go full defense. Just building up my armor. Well, unfortunately, I have 7 damage. Okay, so then what we're going to do, we're going to be taking 4. There we go. Player is losing 1 sanity point. We can go for more bleed, or we can go for wounds. The question is, do we want to go for... I think this is going to be more effective because we have all these double hits. So I think going for the double hits is probably going to be the best way to scale damage rather than just doing the bleed. So let's grab this, and ideally I would put it on something that doesn't have double hit, so probably this one right here. Let's get rid of one of our single hits.
Victory? It's a fleeting concept here.
Random encounter. Okay, let's see what we can get here. As the player approaches, the Weeping Witch speaks in a voice that echoes within their mind, each word dripping with an ominous presence. Ah, wandering soul, within this nightmare you seek power, do you not? Or perhaps you hunger for knowledge. I seek power. I'm a Spartan. Fantastic. Will we succeed? Accepting the blessing grants the player a rare relic, which is as mysterious as the witch herself. Regain 2 sanity after each battle. Well, that was not incredibly helpful. Okay, let's see here. Where do these 2 spaces move? So this one only goes to a random encounter. This one we could potentially go to a rest. And then the rest goes to a random, and then the random goes to a random, and then the random... Okay, I kind of want to see if there's anything else that comes from the rest than just heals. I do want to see if there's any upgrades that we could potentially do there. The enemy design is super sweet, I will say. 7 damage, though. That's a lot of damage. We do have all this armor, though, so let's go ahead and inflict a wound. And then we'll do our double hit. Do our single hit, and then we'll, I guess, make it so you do a little bit less damage. So basically, what I'm seeing here with this character, and what I'm kind of feeling like this is doing, and we have a pretty easy kill here. So this Spartan, or I guess perhaps it's better suited to say the Zeus's, wherever these, if these are coming from Zeus, then I'll say it comes from Zeus. But what it feels like this character, or this set of dice, is very much kind of spread out, but what it's trying to do is a lot of different builds that stack abilities over time, right? So we have like bleeds that get stronger, or not necessarily stronger, but if you can get multiple stacks on them, they kind of compound, right? So if you only have 1, you do 2 damage for 1 turn. But if you do 2, well, now you're doing 6 damage, right? Because you do your first 2, that's 4 damage in the first turn, you lose 1 stack, and then the next one does 2 damage. Then you put 1 more on, so now you have, if you do 3 a turn, now you're stacking up to 6 damage, then you do 4 damage, then you do 2 damage, so it constantly gets more and more. Same thing can be said about the strength, right? Same thing can be said about the weakness, but right now there's so many things that it's trying to stack. I just don't feel like it's very focused. So I'm assuming that this amount of dice is telling you like, hey, choose one of these and go in that direction. Well, this feels good if we were losing sanity, but yeah, we're losing a lot of sanity. Lose is spelled with 1 O. And attack an enemy for damage equally missing sanity. Yeah, so like, do I want to be stacking weak? I feel like weak could potentially be better than armor. Because we have that starting armor that we can kind of use to our advantage to build up weak over time. So maybe we do that. And then the other question is, I think if we're going for the wound route, because wound is basically the same as strength, right? As far as I know now, there's no difference here. The only difference is that they don't stack together, right? And by that I mean, like, if you have 2 stacks of wound, next turn you're still going to have 1 extra damage. But if you do 1 stack of wound, 1 stack of strength, next turn you have none of the above. So I feel like it's probably better to just stack, like, find what ones we want to go with. So, like, right now we're going for the wound, and we'll go for weak.
Gods once spoke to me. Now they are but echoes in a world.
That's just my initial impression, though.
Reminds me of Sparta's hearths.
Yeah, okay, so there's no actual...
Memories.
Okay, so there's no actual increasing your damage to your sides or anything like that. It's just health and sanity.
Ah, a wanderer in these darkened lands. How fortuitous. Might you lend an old man a
We'll help
hand
you.
with his cart, stuck as it is in this
Okay.
wretched
So you have the
mire?
old man, you suddenly feel a sharp pain in your side. The old man cackles as tentacles burst from the ground, wrapping around you. So are we going to get in a fight, or are we just taking damage?
You seek glory.
Wow, okay.
Cost. It demands everything.
Did I have 12 sanity? Because it just said I lost 4 sanity, and I'm at 8 out of 10. Oh, another seeker of knowledge in these decaying lands. Do you seek enlightenment or merely survival? Ask the scholar for guidance on your journey. Unfortunate.
Every step you take, remember. The darkness hungers for your soul. The warmth of the fire.
Heal. So in situations like this, I don't know how I feel about the... I don't know how I feel about that mechanic of rolling dice, because if the outcome is... So I'm assuming there's probably like a multiplier behind the scenes that is altering your chance depending on what your sanity is. I'm not a big fan of that, because the way that it's worded, I would assume that you have a lower chance of getting something beneficial if your sanity is worse. So it's kind of punishing you for doing bad. How in the frick am I supposed to do this? What? Are you joking me right now? Yeah, so, like, you see how these dice are lined up right now? Everything, like, I want to get stacks off, but I don't really have anything. I mean, I think I just need to go for weeks and then just, like, re-roll a bunch. And just try and get a bunch of, like, get a bunch of stacks on him. I mean, I'm just dead. Like, there's literally nothing I could... I don't think there's anything I could have done. Okay, that felt incredibly bad. Okay, well, let's try and do a new run here. See if it feels any different, but that felt awful to lose like that. Okay. Yeah, I feel like these numbers just don't line up at all. All of our things do like 1 damage, 1 armor, and they're hitting us for 6. This is kind of... The balancing here on numbers does not feel good. Well, let's just speed up. Yeah, we can speed up the animations. I didn't even see those at the top. Can I overheal? No, I can't overheal. I should have re-rolled there. Oh, wait, no. I was out of mana. Okay, so yeah, there are different tiers of damage. So that's good to know. Let's get some bleed down here.
You seek glory. You know nothing of the cost. It demands everything.
Just gonna go for a big 4 hit since our first damage is doubled. So, like, maybe what I'm supposed to be doing is just building up a bunch of wound on him and then going for a single big hit? Okay, well, we're holding out here. More bleed, so we're definitely going to do that.
I am Uncle Demetrios. Great to see a sane person, a Spartan, might I add, with all the horrors outside. Drinks
Yeah, so it says roll result is impacted by your sanity level. Now, I don't know. Does that mean that the lower your sanity level, the lower the chance to result? Does that mean that you're more likely to succeed? Like, this doesn't tell me whether I'm more or less likely to succeed by my sanity level. It just says it's impacted. Okay, well, whether you tell me it is impacted or it's not doesn't matter if you don't tell me how it's scaling. So if it is working in the sense that your chances of getting what you need are lower based on your sanity, that feels bad because then you're getting punished for not doing well. And obviously vice versa. It's obviously going to be better because the better you're doing, the more reward you get. We just don't know. So what did I get? I got this relic, which is the same relic as I had before. There's no way I'm doing this elite. I'm not doing an elite until I'm going to be forced to do it. Okay, trying to use our wounds and stuff. Yeah, see, like, if we didn't have this 10 armor, I don't even know how you would play the game if you had a character that didn't have 10 armor. I mean, we're just getting a stupid amount of these. I mean, there is a 3 week here, which I feel like I kind of need to grab, though. God, you're hitting me for 7? Yeah, see, so this is starting to feel a little bit better. I really think that the numbers are in this game are just so absurdly off. Like, it's one thing if these enemies were fighting like 7 or 8 battles down the road where we've had time to like level ourselves up. I'm going to take the wound here. But the way, like, if you're fighting enemies down in this area that are this strong, then that's fine. But to start off with that, where our shields, our damage, we're only doing 1s and they're doing like 6s and 7s, and then you get your first elite and it's like 15 right off the bat. That's like absurd. Let's answer the riddle. Okay. Start each battle with an extra 5 armor. Okay, so we're actually getting some relics now. Okay, well, let's see if we can take out this elite. I doubt it. Okay, so he's not actually doing that much damage to us. He's just, like, really tanky. Let's start stacking these things up on him. Oh, dude, bleed goes through armor? Well, we got the build. Oh, but it looks like... Okay, so wound doesn't affect bleed. I'm gonna see if I can find that extra bleed damage. Unfortunately, we did not. Oh, hey, he's dead. Attack thrice. Ignore enemy armor and deal 6 damage directly to enemy's health. Okay, I'm just gonna take that. That goes to random next. This goes to 2 regular battles. You have armor. So if we put the wound on you, that should be big damage. No, why didn't that do double damage? Maybe because of the way that the dice is worded? Yeah, I don't understand why that didn't do double damage. He was at full health. So, something else to consider with the elite fight. Oh, I only need one more bleed. Unfortunately, we didn't get it. Is that one of the things that I even forgot was relevant, mostly because there's no, like, the enemies are doing so much damage that I haven't really had a decent time to consider this. Gain sanity. Heal self for 3. Or heal self for 2. We're going to take the heal self for 3. And I'm just going to replace one of these heals. Is the fact that Zeus's power, one of them, is every 10th attack heals you completely. Now, I actually completely forgot about this. And mostly because, like, the enemies that have been hitting us, if they hit us once, they only have to hit us twice, basically, to kill us. Right? Once we run out of armor. If we have full armor, then obviously we can take a couple hits. But when you have... So the first... Like, look at the first elite that we had, right? If we didn't have this relic, we would start with 20 total health. We take 15 at the start. Assuming you don't have an extra, like, 1 or 2 Z of armor or weak, right? So, they're hitting us for 15. We immediately go to 5. Okay, well, then we can re-heal, and then we're dead. So, like, the balance is super off because it doesn't incentivize you to lean into the mechanics. I would assume that it would probably be beneficial for enemies to, say, hit you for instances of 4, right? Because then, let's say you're at full health of 10. I'm just going to use that. I'm going to forget the armor for right now just because it's easier to think about, right? But you're at 10 health. They hit you for 4 down to 6. Then they hit you down to 2. And then you have a chance to actually build up your health again. And then you can get used to, like, oh, I should be being more aggressive because with these god powers, being more aggressive is actually going to embolden my defenses. Whereas the way that it's balanced now, I feel like I just have to kill them as fast as possible because if I don't, then like 15 damage is way too much to overcome with how my dice are currently set up. Now, in this run, we are getting a little bit more beneficial choices here. Did the game just crash? Well, it didn't crash because I can still do this. So what happened? Let's go back to the menu. Can I just continue? I can't continue because the continue button is not active. And I can't go to settings either. Okay, so I guess that's where we're going to leave this one off because I'm not going to do another run on this. I don't know why you would have a continue button here or a settings button here or credits button here and not have them active. That just seems super weird. Yeah, so a bit of an unfortunate run here, guys. Honestly, I thought this game, it looked a lot better than it actually played out. But the thing that I was thinking this entire time that we were talking about is just balance seems crazy off. I don't know if it's just me. Maybe I'm just being, you know, way too sensitive to the fact that they're dealing a bunch of damage, but it's very strange that all of our dice faces are just doing 1, and it's a very split build. I think it would be one thing if the dices were very consistent in that it was just like wound, weak, armor, and damage, right? Because then you could kind of focus on a mechanic and focus on building it, but you also have heals. You also have bleed. And so it throws in a whole bunch of these other systems that it's very hard to kind of like build up stacks of what you actually want. And yeah, I don't know. Plus we have the crash. I mean, crashes happen, but the fact that you don't have continue as a working button here is just like, why? Why can't you continue a run? That seems very strange. The game looks good. I will give it that. All the different aesthetics of the actual art here look really great. I'm hoping that there's going to be some balance changes because I would like to return to this one and give it another shot. But the way it currently stands as a full game, I'm not sure how much I would enjoy it with the way that it's currently going. But guys, let me know what you think, and of course, if you do check out the demo, let me know if you had a different experience or if your experience was very... Excuse me. Sorry, that was gross. If it was similar to mine. I'm curious to see if it was just a me thing. Maybe I just wasn't getting good enough upgrades the first time, or maybe I just didn't take upgrades that were actually very good. To me, it just felt like we weren't taking any sanity damage. It felt like... Here's a better way to go about it, is that the sanity system is supposed to be there so that it's basically an enraged mechanic, right? So that way you don't have builds that are just 100% defense. However, I never felt like it was at all a reasonable assumption to think that I was going to be able to survive long enough for that ever to matter. So all the skills that say, like, and now granted, we could have taken the sides of the dice that say, like, spend your sanity in order to deal more damage. That could have been a possibility that we could have done. But other than that, I never felt like we were going to die by sanity loss. It always felt like we were going to lose just by straight damage. But that's going to do it for this one. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you did have some fun, you enjoyed your time here, would you kindly smash that like button, subscribe to the channel for more roguelike action. I'm Ganyonz. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.